Welcome to Spotlight on Guilford. I'm Terry Kane. I have an exciting program in store tonight because I have the St. George Men's Group here talking about the Oktoberfest. The St. George Men's Group has raised $24,000 in less than a year, and 100% of that goes to charity. So let's find out how they did it. Let me introduce my guests. Over on my left, to the far left, is Cliff Bechtold, who is Vice President of St. George Men's Group and also one of the original founders. And right next to me on my left is Andrew Horn. Andrew is from Guilford. He is the chairperson of the Shoreline Oktoberfest, and he's also the membership director of St. George Men's Group. He's will be the MC at the Oktoberfest, and he's also a dancer. So lots of talent over here on my left with these two gentlemen. And then on my right is Peter Diedrichsen. Peter is a member of the HSV Bavaria dance group. He will be going to Munich for their Oktoberfest in 2014. Interesting fact about Peter. When he proposed to his wife, he made sure that the wedding would take place during Oktoberfest season. So guess where the anniversary is every year? At Oktoberfest.
That's right.
And then on the far right is Karen Grether. She is president of the HSV Bavaria Dance Group, and she will also be going to Munich in 2014. And Karen will have some cowbells that she'll play for us a little later as soon as we talk about what's happening with St. George Group and the Oktoberfest. So I would like to start out by asking you, Cliff, a little bit about the St. George Group. Who are members of that? And I'm wondering how the St. George Men's Group is different from the Knights of Columbus, who are also called St. George their home.
That's right. We're actually very fortunate here in the Shoreline area. There's a lot of great organizations and men groups like the Knights of Columbus, the Rotary, Lions. There's a number of great organizations. It was about a year ago. Many of us of our membership were part of those other organizations. But we got together. We're looking for something to do something different in the community, and all of us had something that we were searching for in our life. And we got together, about 7 of us, and sat down to form which we launched, which was the St. George Men's Group, with the whole concept of bringing together men who are all looking for something to way to give back to the community. And we've opened it up, although we've opened our doors under St. George. They're the charity that helps us sponsor our funding and gives us a place to meet. We are an organization that's open to anybody who wants to come join us. You don't have to be a member of the parish. You can be a member of the community. We have a number of people that are not part of our parish that are part of our group. So we're open to anybody to come from all walks of life who want to come and have a lot of fun. I think that's our number one thing is we like to have fun, right. And make a difference in the world. And so by giving our time, our talents that we've been given, and giving them back to the community. And so it's been a lot of fun.
How many members do you have?
Well, I'll ask my membership director. I think we're on 35, 40 right now.
We're on 35 members that have signed up with us, and we are growing. We have a waiting list right now of new members. We have another membership drive. Once a quarter, we take in new members. We have a new initiation.
Okay.
So every quarter, we take in new members.
Right.
It was a very calculated thing. We didn't know what we were starting. We didn't know what we were doing a year ago. We didn't even know what our first event was, and we knew we needed to do something, and so we've purposely started as kind of a small growth, and we know that we're on a journey. That we know we need to be someplace. We don't know how we're going to get there. We don't know what it's like, but we're going to enjoy it, and so we've kind of calculated our path as far as day to day, and we step back every once in a while, look at how things are going, and we're always looking for that next event, which brought us to take on a very big project like the Oktoberfest.
So the Oktoberfest, is that the only event that you have run so far in this past year, or have you had other events?
No, so in the past year, we actually, our first event was, we had just got the group going, and we were sitting around one night saying, well, what should we do for the community? And it was right after Superstorm Sandy a year ago, and we looked out across the green, saw the trees down, and we said, why don't we do a fundraiser for the town to buy trees to put back on the green? And so the tree lighting was coming up last December, so we were out front of the St. George Church. We were selling hot slices of pizza and pretzels that we were heating up over a coal fire, and we had a place where people could adopt a leaf, donate money to adopt a leaf, and out of that we raised $1,500, which was enough to buy 2 new trees for the green. So we donated that. And since then, we've done a number of other activities, and all of them have been firsts for us. So we have never done these before. The next one was a chili cook-off, and in that we raised $3,000 with being split between Neighbor to Neighbor in Madison and the Guilford Food Bank. And so we've split the money between those two towns, and that was $3,000. And then we always like to have a good St. Patrick's Day dance. Can't leave. Got to make sure we cover all the ethnic bases. And there we raised $3,500 for Wounded Warriors. And so we look at a number of charities that are regional, national, and in here in our own community.
Right. And I'm sorry, could you repeat, what was the charity that you raised that for from the chili cook-off?
The chili cook-off was for the food banks in Guilford and in Madison.
For the food bank?
Yeah, so Neighbor to Neighbor is the one in Madison. That's their agency, like Guilford Foundation.
Oh, okay,
that we split
Neighbor
it
to Neighbor,
yeah.
right.
And so but with the money heading to those organizations. But then we've also done a number of other activities where we have tried to just do social, have fun. We arranged a bus trip. We had 2 buses go down to a New York Yankees game. Just got everybody together, and it was a really good time for everybody that went down for that. Plus, jump in and help out with the Home Front Day back in May. So just different things that we can do to kind of mix it up. It's all about trying to find different ways to give back and actually bring the group together, because I think that we've come up with a group of guys that just like being together, having fun, and taking on new challenges.
Right. That's very impressive.
It's been an interesting ride. We've had a lot of fun. It's really, it's electrifying to see all the energy as ideas pop out and you see them ping pong around the room as people all add their 2 cents to it, and before you know it, you have something special coming together. And the community's been great. I mean, we had on the 4th of July, we did a pig roast over to help the Mercy Center over Madison. Right. So there's a retreat center on the water over there. We thought we'd help them to get some exposure, and we ended up having 350 people come to a pig roast over there. We actually had to turn 150 people away. Oh, no
kidding. So
we'll plan better for next year. We'll make it a bigger event. But everybody came over, had a great meal, stayed and watched the fireworks over there across the water, and in return, we were able to raise $9,000 for the Mercy Center. So
fabulous.
And just this past weekend, we had a golf tournament. We were trying to help the Guilford Par 3 golf course here in town and try to get exposure to them also. So we decided to run a golf tournament there to help people come in, and Bob's Krasinski in town ran this charity. We raised about $5,000 to support the Guilford Fund for Education and also St. Martin de Porres Academy in New Haven. So
it sounds like your group has the touch, because you've started off, you must have people with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and I'm assuming you're all volunteering to do this. No one's making money doing this, right?
Absolutely, and Andrew, you can chime in here. What's nice about it is that we have no overhead. So we're all volunteers, we're all interested, and so whatever we bring in, our net profits, 100% goes to that charity. Right. And so we really enjoy the fact that we can make a difference, and it doesn't really have any overhead to it.
Correct.
Right. So speaking of fun, there is nothing funner, more fun, I guess is the way to say it, than an Oktoberfest. And I know because I grew up with Oktoberfests, and I'm really excited that we have one here on the shoreline now.
That's due to Andrew.
Okay, so Andrew, can you jump in and tell us what's Oktoberfest all about? Why don't you start with the history? Let's start there.
I'm going to refer to Peter for the history, because why not get it from a real German?
Well, okay, Peter, do you want to jump in with the history of Oktoberfest?
Yes, I think Andy thinks that I was around for the first Oktoberfest 200 years ago. Right. I wasn't. He doesn't believe me. But in 1810, the Crown Prince of Bavaria, Prince Ludwig I, he became King Ludwig I later, was getting married to Elizabeth von Saxon-Hilberghausen. And he wanted everyone in Bavaria to be invited to the wedding. And then anyone who could muster up and make the trip was at that wedding, and it was so much fun that he decided, let's do it again next year around the anniversary. And the first actual Oktoberfest was the second year of that, the repeat of the wedding ceremony. And since then, it's been run every year other than from war or serious disease. So it's been around for 200 years and more. And it has grown so big now that they bring in 5 to 6 million people during those 16 to 18 days. It starts in September and ends on the first Sunday in October. And it starts with a big parade, and the mayor of the town, of the city of Munich, at noon on the Saturday it begins, must tap that first keg. And when he does that, he has to shout out, "Otsapt ist," which means the keg is tapped. The party can begin. And then the music begins.
Right.
There are 400 bands on staff. There's a big midway, much like what we're talking about coming to Guilford. And it becomes a celebration of Bavarian culture. And a lot of it is, of course, centered around the beer. There are 14 beer tents. Originally they were tents, now they're actually beer halls. They hold several thousand people each.
Right.
And each one would present their particular beer from that particular brewery. And then there's a wine tent. And there's still room for children, however. Every Tuesday afternoon of Oktoberfest is Family Day, and people can get in for reduced prices to bring their children and enjoy everything that's there to enjoy.
And you said that all started in 1910?
1810.
Oh, 1810. Okay,
Yes.
1810, the first Oktoberfest. Do you have any idea how that came over here to America?
German and Bavarian Americans brought
Right.
it here.
And when
with
was
their
the first one
culture.
here? Is that I don't want to
Well,
stump you with any of these questions.
Bavarians have been around for over 100
Yeah.
years in
Yeah.
America.
Right.
So it's easy to say that there are some towns, if you go out to the Midwest, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, where I lived for a time, is where I learned how to dance, in fact.
Right.
It's been around since the early 1900s anyway.
Great.
I'm sorry, I should say 1800s. It's since about the mid-1800s when the Bavarians started to
When
come
the
in.
Bavarians started to come in here.
Yes,
And they brought this wonderful Oktoberfest with them.
absolutely.
Well, I'd like to switch back now to you, Andrew. And then we'll switch back and talk about the dancing and the entertainment part. But you're going to tell us about the Oktoberfest that's coming here.
Right. What we did is, I'm a member of the dance group also, HSV Bavaria, and we perform all over the country as well as in Puerto Rico. We've been to Germany on several occasions, and Austria performing our dancing. Matter of fact, this coming up weekend, we're going to be in Pennsylvania at the PA Oktoberfest, which is an enormous Oktoberfest with 45,000 people in attendance. What we did is we took the Bavarian Oktoberfest, kept it as true as possible, but adapted it to the American culture. So what we are doing is bringing a true Oktoberfest to the Guilford Fairgrounds. You will have German beer, you will have German sausages, Weisswurst, Bratwurst, Nachtwurst, sauerkraut, potato salad, all the German fare, as well as the entertainment direct from Munich, Germany. We have entertainer Edith Prock. We have 9 different bands featured during the 3-day activities. It's October 18th, 19th, and 20th. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Begins at 5 p.m. on Friday till 11 p.m. Saturdays from 12 noon to 11 p.m. and Sundays from 12 noon to 6 p.m. On Sunday, we are actually some of the charities that are involved, because like we always do is we give 100% of the proceeds from this event will go to charity. And one of the charities that we will talk about shortly is the Wounded Warrior Project. So they will be a benefit factor of the funds that we raise during the Oktoberfest. So on Sunday, we do have anyone with a military ID will be admitted for free. And at 3 o'clock, we're doing a presentation to remember our fallen heroes and military men and women who have served in our country.
Yeah, the activists. And I think maybe you can talk about, Peter mentioned the aspects of being a family event too.
Yes. It's a 100% family event. We have an enormous midway, so there will be plenty of rides for the children. We will have entertainment for the children, everything from pumpkin carving, coloring, so they'll be able to get their pumpkins just before Halloween season.
Right.
We have food trucks coming in with all different foods, and with the children we'll also be doing children's activities. We have a car cruise event for Friday and Sunday.
And what is that? What's a car cruise event?
It's almost like a car show, but
Yeah.
without all the recognition, the trophies.
Okay.
So they can come, they present their antique cars, and we have an entire area at the fairgrounds. Remember, the fairgrounds is 33 acres.
Right.
And we have 33,000 square feet of tent space set up, so it's rain or shine. So the cars would show up, the passenger as well as the driver would get reduced ticket admission, and then the public is welcome, the attendees of the Oktoberfest are welcome to go and peruse all these wonderful cars that are showing up for the event. And we've had an enormous inquiry about people that are planning to bring their and showcase their Corvettes, Ferraris, and old-timers.
Right. So that's certainly something of interest for everyone at this Oktoberfest. So tickets, how much are tickets for this?
Tickets in advance, well, at the gate, they will be $12 for an adult. You can buy a weekend pass for $25 at the gate.
Right.
So that gets you admission to all 3 days. Senior citizens will be $10 the day of the event. However, we are having tickets online in advance for sale. Senior citizens would be paying $8. Children, anyone up to age 15, are admitted free.
Wow.
So bring your children, they're free. Anyone that is 16 to 20 years old, just under the drinking age, we ask for a $5 entrance fee for them.
Yep.
And 21 or older, in advance online, they're only $10. Tickets are $10 in advance. We do have a special VIP pass, which in advance is $125. However, at the gate it would be $150. But you get a lot of benefits with that. You get a German Mosskrug from Germany, Bavaria, HB Mosskrug, that is filled with 2 drink coupons, so you get filled twice.
Right.
And you get to choose 3 CDs from all the performers that we have coming. So they donated their CDs to this cause. You will get a meal, which you can choose from 3 out of the 5 different meats, potato salad, as well as sauerkraut and red cabbage. That will be part of your entire meal. So, and you have special VIP seating where you'll be right up front by the stage to see all the famous acts coming from all over the country.
This is a huge undertaking.
This is, yes.
No, it's been great, and actually, it's going to take a lot of people to pull it off. So, if people are interested in coming out and helping with this, you can check us out on our webpage, which is I don't know if it's under the
ShorelineOktoberfest.com.
Shoreline Oktoberfest.
Or on Facebook, we have a Facebook page, which is on Facebook, and it's Shoreline Oktoberfest on Facebook.
Spelled with a K.
Yes.
Right.
But if they want to come out and they want to help, either do the day of the event and so forth. We're always looking for volunteers who want, you don't have to be a member of our group to do it, because we're going to need a lot of people to pull this off.
Sure.
But also we are doing some things as far as vendors. So we're going to have a kind of a craft fair area. So if people want to, or business want to help, they want to advertise, whatever, we have a spot that will be taking vendors. And that information is also on the website of Shoreline Oktoberfest.
Right.
And the Oktoberfest is not only like dad and grandma and grandpa's Umpub bands. The Oktoberfest has grown and it has adapted to the American culture. One of the acts is 18-time Grammy Award-winning artist Jimmy Sturr and the Jimmy Sturr Orchestra, well known in this area. However, he's bringing a special guest, Chris Caffrey of Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I'm just
so
looking
if
at
anybody has heard of TSO or Trans-Siberian Orchestra, they sell out all the time at the casinos.
Yeah, they certainly do.
He's an excellent gentleman, and he's a very good guitar player, and he will be on stage with Jimmy Sturr.
How did you get that?
We perform a lot, believe it or not. I'm in very close contact with all these performers. Matter of fact, this weekend coming up, I will be with all of them performing at a show in Pennsylvania. We just came off of a show this past weekend. So this is Oktoberfest season, and I will be dressed like that at the Oktoberfest, Shoreline Oktoberfest. I cannot stress it enough how much fun and the stereotypical Oktoberfest, it's completely different. It's a fun event. It's a family, fun-centered event.
Great. Let's talk about the costume. So back to you, Peter.
To me.
I want you to tell us what you've got on, so that all of us coming to Oktoberfest
This is
know
the
what to
traditional
expect.
Bavarian. We call it Tracht. It's what we wear. Some people would call it a costume, but this was circa the 1880s. This was the look for Bavarians. They wore this. Men wore this to church and this was it was dress up like this. They also wore their older, not so fancy lederhosen, working around the houses and farms and so forth. But this is decorated with embroidery, which is known as stickerei, and the pattern of this varies from village to village. So if you go back far enough in time, if you're walking through the forest and you see another gentleman coming at you, and you can tell by what he's wearing on his embroidery where he's from.
I never knew that.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah. So each village had their own like crest,
yes.
so to speak,
it's
of
all
embroidery.
It's all stylized images from the natural world. This is the deer, and there are acorns and oak trees, oak leaves stylized here. And you always have to have, a gentleman always has to have a knife, and this is with the deer horn. Sometimes they have like a deer's paw or rabbit's paw, that kind of thing.
So that's beautiful. I don't know if the camera can see that. I don't even know what camera we've got focused right now, but that's really
that was a necessity
beautiful.
Back in the 1800s.
As you walked through the woods.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's part of the standard costume, and we do wear. Typically, we wear an eagle feather in our hat. Right. And it's a way of expressing the pride in your heritage. In fact, our dancing is based on the courting ritual of two of the birds in Bavaria and Austria, the mountain hen and the mountain rooster. So the women turn to, in imitation of the female, and the men slap their thighs and everything in imitation of the male. To get the woman's attention. Right. The woman plays hard to get, so we have to work harder and harder. And it's a lot of fun. Wow. The dances tell a story. Yeah. So and it's all about the woman. That's why we go through this: short leather pants, feather in our hat, jumping around, yelling and screaming, singing, to get the attention of a particular woman. So are there different dances? I mean, there's many different dances, and these must be, as you want to become a dancer, you have to study and know the form of each of the dances. Yes,
I'm sure you
and
learn
like
those one
the
by
pattern
one.
on our lederhosen, each village has its own dance named after that village. So most of our dance names are from the village that where it originated. Even the village where the former Pope Benedict came from had its own dance, and it's very likely the Pope had to learn that when he was in Catholic school.
Well, that's really fascinating, and you will be performing, so we'll get to see a couple of those dances when we come to the
Yes, we're performing all 3 days. We'll have a lot of dancing.
Good, excellent.
And we also like to take people from the audience and dance regular ballroom with them, a polka and a waltz, and other specialty numbers, and we like to teach them, anyone who wants to learn a particular step, we're happy to do that. Right.
So is that going to be part of your dance performance? Is then you bring people up, and will there be opportunity to dance at other times during the event?
Yes, there will be. There will always be a band in one or both of the tents.
Right. Good. Good. I'm just wondering how many people still remember how to polka.
After a couple of beers, many people remember.
You'll be quite surprised. The dance floor is usually packed.
Is it?
We have 2 tents for full-time entertainment from start to finish of the Oktoberfest, so continuous entertainment in both tents. And we just added a brand new activity for the Oktoberfest, which is catching on across the country like gangbusters, and that's called the Dachshund races, the wiener dog races.
Really?
So for anyone that has a dachshund, it has to be only a dachshund, you can enter online to register your dog for the wiener dog races. And basically what that entails is you bring your dachshund, you will get a free admission for the person that owns the dachshund, as well as one
and the dachshund.
And the dachshund.
There's a form to fill out to make sure everything is okay with the dog. And then the dog, they have races with the dachshund from one owner to the other.
Right.
And then there's a winner at the end. And they are the biggest hit for the kids. Dachshund.
I'll bet. So. But I'll bet you have to pull from a wide geographical area to find enough dachshunds. I mean, I don't remember seeing.
They come from all over. It's on our website, and
right.
there's a whole organization that is geared to the wiener dog races.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Well,
and we're going to be on the map for it also in Guilford, Connecticut.
That alone is worth coming to see, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Well, we still have to talk to Karen about her costume first.
Yes, actually this is called Festtracht. This is our formal tracht that we wear on special occasions. So if there's an anniversary for one of the organizations, we would wear this. In October, we'll be going to German American Day in Connecticut, so we will wear this costume. When we go to the Oktoberfest, we will be wearing one of our other dirndls. We have 3 dirndls right now and a 4th dirndl that is making its debut this weekend. We just got the new dirndl. And our colors are blue, green, and red. Those are the colors our dirndls need to be for the region in which is Miesbach, for the region that our group represents. So this would be the formal one, and then our other performances, we would wear other tracht. We have red, as in a red, green, and blue, that we would switch off and on for the different performances.
Well, it's certainly a beautiful costume.
Thank you very much.
What does all of the chains mean? I'm sure that has a special name.
You know,
not chains, right?
Peter, would you? I don't. To make us uncomfortable, I think.
Oh.
Clearly, a man invented this, not a woman.
Is that tight? Kind of like a corset?
It is a corset. It's
It
actually
is a corset.
It's actually called it's a hard meter, and so it's actually got. It's stiff.
Bones.
Yeah.
It's stiff, and how do you? Well, of course that.
You put yourself in.
You put yourself in, and as you dance, you're not going to be doing a lot of movement with your torso because it's packed.
Correct.
Pretty
And
tight.
again, this is more of a fest tract.
Okay.
So maybe we do one traditional dance when we're wearing this tract. Our other ones don't have the tight corset,
Oh,
so
okay.
they're all a little bit different.
A little bit different.
Yes.
Right. And the flowers here?
The flowers, again, they're different colors depending on the region in which you come from. We've had red in the past, and now with this new blue one that we have, we wear pink. So it's kind of a decoration to make us look more beautiful.
Dress up.
To dress up,
Yes.
of course. And you are, as Peter said, the center of attention. So, of course, you are very beautiful.
Thank you. I try to be.
Right. Right.
Karen also wore that outfit in the movie that she was in.
What movie were you in?
The Disney movie Enchanted with Amy Adams
Really?
and Patrick Dempsey.
Were you really?
I was an extra. There was a few members from our group, as well as some other members from New York clubs as well. I am in it for 3 whole seconds. You can tell it's me.
Well, that's exciting because so much of that ends up on the cutting room floor. So at least
I went
you're
to
seeing.
I went to the extras premiere in New York City, not the formal premiere,
Right.
and 3 whole seconds I counted it. So so a few of our members, there were 6 of us that actually made it into the film.
That's pretty exciting.
Yes, it was very exciting.
All right. So I was just going to ask you about your hat. That is, of course, it has to be a traditional hat.
Correct.
So women would be in their village wearing these hats, or was it only for? I mean,
On Sunday.
On Sunday, this would
Right.
be the hat you wear on Sunday.
Right, and typically this is the hat you wear with the formal tract.
Okay.
We wear it with all of our tracts to make it a little more formal,
Right.
but typically the hat is used to be worn with a formal tract.
And when you're in the others, do you wear some different kind of headdress?
No, we
or-
wear the same hat. We
wear the
keep
same-
it. Yeah,
so-
we keep it very traditional. We wear the hat the whole time.
You
It's
do.
very distinctive.
Uh-huh.
So people know that we're with the group and we're there to perform.
Right.
So we wear it almost always, unless
Yeah.
there's a dance that prevents us from having to wear it.
Yep. Yep. Does that stay on your head?
It does. It does. Unless the guy knocks it off when he spins me. But typically we make sure it's nice and tight on our heads.
Yep. Yep. And a little bit about the dance group itself. Peter, how long have you been a member?
I joined in 1974. I had been in Milwaukee where I learned to dance, and I came to Connecticut where I originally was from, and joined the group. I wanted to do that for a long time, and I finally got to do it, so
Okay.
I'm still at it.
Good. Excellent.
And my wife, as I said, has retired, but my daughter has stepped up, and now she's dancing with us. So I'm delighted.
It's wonderful that that's a family hobby.
And she can wear the dirndl that I bought her mother on our honeymoon in Munich.
Oh, that's so romantic.
I'm so proud
That's
of her.
nice.
Yeah.
And Karen, how long have you been with the group?
I started dancing when I was 6 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I've been with the adult group back since 1994. So 94 is when I came back to dance as an adult, but I danced as a child as well in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing it a very long time.
Well, good.
And Andrew, how long have you danced?
Oh, I've danced for many, many years.
Too many to
Too
count.
many to count.
But your daughter also competes with you.
Yes. My daughter and my wife are also part of the dance group.
And you said your daughter is 7?
She's 7, yes.
She's 7. So little ones, and you were 6. So you start young with these dance groups.
Usually in kids groups. There's a
Kid,
lot of
also
kids groups.
kids groups, yep. Do they ever mix up so the adults and kids are dancing together, or is that not done?
Yes,
Is
and that will
that's
be
choreographed together?
happening at the Oktoberfest. So you will
Excellent.
have kids
Wonderful.
dancing also. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see
Yes,
that.
yes. My nephew dances with his daughter,
Yeah.
usually when they're dancing together
Right.
in a group.
Right. And you have a special treat for us on the program today. You
I
have brought your
do.
cowbells.
I have brought my cowbells. So I'm
Excellent.
going to try and see if I can move this over a little. Andrew, I'll let you introduce my song for me so you can translate it as well.
Karen's going to be playing a song. It's called Du Du liegst mir in Herzen, and it's a traditional song from Germany, and she will play that on the cowbells.
Excellent. Very good.
Excellent. I'm not sure we got those cowbells in the camera, so maybe we could. Oh, now we've got
We
a
got
shot
it?
of them. Yeah, hold them up for the camera. We've got
sure,
the
absolutely.
right shot here, and give that a ring.
So, Andrew, you made the commitment before we came online here that you're going to have the dancers come back and maybe we'll get some footage of the dancers so people get a preview of what to expect.
Absolutely. A big part of the Oktoberfest activities are the dancing.
Right.
We want people to come out and have a great time dancing. You can wear lederhosen too. We highly encourage lederhosen, hats, whatever German outfits you want to wear. By all means, there will be lots of people wearing them on the fairgrounds.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll have the dancers here and we can do another segment with them dancing.
That would be fabulous. So, is there some place that those of us that don't have lederhosen can go buy them because we just really want to get into this?
Absolutely, online. There's plenty
Online?
of places that do sell them in the United States. Online.
Okay. And can we get some nice journals too?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
can?
Yes, yes, you can get them online as well.
All right. So that's a good way to really get into the spirit of this Oktoberfest and participate in it. And it all goes to charity.
Yeah, so maybe can I
Amazing.
just mention what the
Yeah.
charities are for? So,
Yep.
as with all of our events, 100% was going to go to charity. And so, what we decided this time is to look at a national, a regional, statewide, and something local. So, on a national level, the proceeds will go to Wounded Warrior Project, which is a very well-known, well-established organization. We will also be supporting Autism Society of Connecticut. So that's where 100% of the money that's used to help work with families all the way from diagnosis to getting services for autism. They'll benefit from this. And then also for St. George Church, who helps us by keeping the lights on, give us a place to meet and so forth, and for their charities. So the money that they raise will go so that they'll distribute to the charities through there. So I think those are all very worthy charities, and so we're hoping that people come out and support the event, and that's where the funding will go.
Well, once again, what is the website so that people can come to it if they'd like to buy their tickets?
www.shorelineoktoberfest, spelled with a K,
Right.
.com.
Okay.
And Terry, can I just put one other plug?
Sure.
So
Go for it.
if we survive Oktoberfest,
Yeah.
we got more events coming down the pipe. So you can look for us in October 26th. We're doing a free throw contest to support Circle of Care, which is the Yale Pediatrics.
Right.
And Bob McCaffrey, who's back behind the camera back there, is organizing that for participants from East Haven, Branford, Guilford, and Madison. So we asked them to work with their town basketball clubs to register for that. But it's a fundraiser on October 26th for Circle of Care. And then also in November, we will be doing a one-act play called Late Night Catechism. People may have seen those around.
Yeah.
So we'll do another one of those for charity, and we're planning that on November 16th. So stay tuned for details on that.
Right. Do you know where that's going to take place?
We'll do it at Guilford High School.
At the Guilford High School.
Yep.
Excellent.
And so if people
Great.
know it's you come to a great show of a one-act play on the stage of where an actor dressed as a nun will keep you entertained.
Yep.
It's a very good time. We've done it before, and it's just been a lot of fun. So that's November 16th, and I'm sure we'll probably be back out at the tree lighting, raising money for some town event at that too. But
Good.
details to come on that one.
Good. Excellent. Well, if anybody else want to add anything before we close our program?
We just have to show you one thing.
Okay.
If you're going to come to the Oktoberfest,
Yep.
you need one line that you have to learn.
All right.
When we say anywhere in the tent, especially on stage, tzika tzaka, the audience responds, hoi, hoi, hoi.
Hoi, hoi, hoi. Okay, I
Perfect.
got it.
So if I'm up there on stage
Right.
or the MC or the band, we say,
Yep.
tzika tzaka, tzika tzaka, tzika tzaka,
Hoi,
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 hoi.
hoi.
tzika tzaka, tzika tzaka, tzika tzaka.
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Oktoberfest is, your response would be,
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
perfect.
All right. Well, I'm ready for Oktoberfest, and I hope all of you out there watching are too. This is a lot of fun, and it's for a good cause. So stay tuned for possibly more information about that right here on GCTV. I want to thank my guests
Thank you,
for
Terry.
being here. I've really enjoyed speaking to all of you and learning about this. And thank you, Guilford, for watching GCTV's Spotlight on Guilford. Good.